Hello Tenno, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk about Uriel signature weapon, aka the new Bayonet, vinquibius. Vinquibius is the first of its kind as a bayonet weapon, and it's quite interesting. Now let me just open a empty loadout here. So vinquibius, the rifle mode, has 40% critical chance and 20% status chance. Since it's a bayonet, it gets equipped both in the primary and the melee slots at the same time. If one gets unequipped, the other gets unequipped as well. The gimmick of it is it shares the polarization, lances, and arcanes, and potatoes. You know, those blue catalysts. When you first get this weapon, you get this V and universal slot. And I should, to be honest, equip a lance. Yeah. When I equip this lens, it gets equipped on the melee variant as well. So yeah, you start with that V and the universal polarization, and the second passive is headshots grant 250 melee damage, percent melee damage for the next 2 attacks, stacks up to 16 times. So your next 16 attacks can have plus 250% melee damage as long as you headshot a lot of enemies. I guess 16 enemies, that's what I understand from this. And that's pretty cool. That means you don't have to build all damage in your weapon. Maybe just a pressure point will be enough. Another fact I want to say about the melee arcane slot is, besides the fact like, yeah, it shares the same stats, 40%, 20%, and its unique trait is that polarization is shared, and the melee kills give 100% ammo efficiency for the next 4 shots, I believe. Let me see, what did I say, Mary? Yeah, next 4 shots stacking up to 16 times. This means when you kill a bunch of enemies with your melee, which should be easy considering melee influence exists, yeah, your next 16 shots gonna be 100% ammo efficiency, which means you won't consume a shot when you shoot. So what's funny about this is when Vincubius rifle mode reaches 0 ammo, and if you have efficiency, you can just keep shooting it. So you just get headshots, buff the melee, kill a bunch of enemies with melee, and now you can just keep shooting with 0 bullets in the chamber, which is also really cool. The thing I want to talk about is also the melee arcane slot. When I got this weapon, it didn't let me unlock it with an adapter. Then I noticed when I unlocked the primary weapons with an adapter and I leveled up to rank 30, the melee arcane slot was automatically unlocked. So it seems if you unlock the arcane slot for the primary and rank it up to rank 30, like max rank, it just automatically unlocks the melee slot as well. I don't know how that interacts. The melee variant also has its own stands, which you can get from Descendia. So how did I build my vinquibius? This is more of a late game build. Galvanized chamber, galvanized aptitude, galvanized scope, malignant force. I mean, you can also use primary acuity because it seems like a sniper weapon, and you can even do some funny stuff with semi-rifle cannonade. But the weapon's fire rate is really slow for that. And primary acuity, sure, like you can do it, but I don't think like it's that necessary considering this weapon it's like a train. So I just use galvanized chamber, galvanized scope, galvanized aptitude with your classic malignant force, rhyme rounds, critical delay, vital sense, and hammer shot. The hammer shot, like I want to mention this, the hammer shot is like how can I say this? Flex spot. So is prime stabilizer because like I use the new recoil settings. Because of that, I cannot tell the bullet sometimes, so I just gave it 0 recoil. And hammer shot is there because more critical damage is funny. It gets 9 times critical damage with it. You can put other stuff like prime shred, maybe hunter munitions if you want more slash procs in it, or any other fire rate mod, maybe another status mod like primary status. Like there was a status damage mod that gave you puncture as well. Like you can just go crazy. It's a flex slot, maybe even a ribbon. And if I want to make a new player build with this, if you can get it when you skip it, I suggest like putting point strike on it. You can try semi-rifle cannon, but again, it's a really slow-firing weapon, so I wouldn't suggest it. Like I would rather use like speed trigger there, and I think critical damage is vital sense. I don't know how early you can unlock it, so I can put maybe rifle aptitude can work, or you can pick stuff like critical delay is also corrupted mod, but you have to know what corrupted volts and that like it's with wiki stuff. So if you can get early, that's good. But most of you will probably gonna start like serration, point strike, and speed triggering, which are good. Like it's a good way to build this weapon at the starter because like you're gonna deal a bunch of damage with 3 mods already, and these don't have to be maxed as well. And for elements, you're probably gonna have a bunch of infected clip and you're probably gonna have Stormbringer as well because of the teacher quest, and of course you're gonna have Polar Magazine. I'm pretty sure these are really early mods you can get. I hope at least it's been a while since I did new player stuff. So a new player build should be something like this with like not maxed probably. And if you can get your hands on critical delay and vital sense early, that would be nice. The arcane of choice is primary dexterity. I think primary dexterity is the perfect arcane for this because it says all melee kill plus 60% damage for 20 seconds, stacks up to 6 times, and plus 7.5 combo duration. Since these are weapons that buff each other, getting melee kills increases your damage, and you just give your bayonet melee version 7 more seconds of combo duration, which is quite nice. Like, it just helps the melee weapon, and the melee weapon helps the primary. I quite enjoy this arcane with my vinquibius build. So the melee build is a bit different. I basically went with the funny. So how can I say this? So I went with the classic melee influence build. Yes, I know, tragic. I did melee pressure point because I think since I'm going influence, condition overload might be too much because I'm already gonna get melee damage from the primary's passive. So I went like prime pressure point, and my prime pressure point is not max because I got this mod really early on, and most of my builds get like jambled if I leveled up by 1. It's kind of sucks, but it's fine. I learned to live with it. I use Sacrificial Steel for insane amount of critical chance. If you don't want to do that, you can use Galvanized Steel instead. And as a new player, you're just gonna be your classic pressure point through steel build with this. I'm going gas electricity. You can go viral electricity. If you have a primer for viral, you can just try gas or maybe blast. It's up to you. It's up to you because the reason I'm going gas is when you hit enemies with gas, electricity, and melee influence, the lingering damage can kill over time. So that just lets you get stacks for the primary in a better way, but I don't know if that's a bug or a feature. So that's up to you. But I personally use gas electricity. You can go corrosive electricity, magnetic electricity, viral, blast. It's up to you. Like, but melee influence seems to be the best way to play this weapon because you just want to get as much kills as fast as possible for to buff your primary. Yeah, you can go melee duplicate because it gets 112% critical chance with sacrificial steel. So that's also pretty cool. Like if you don't want to go the classic melee influence, you can try melee duplicate. I sometimes use a Tennokai with it, as I'm probably gonna equip it here. Now, about Tennokai, this weapon's heavy attack is actually quite interesting, and I'm showing the stance here, like you get from the Sandia. So the thing about Tennokai is kind of weird here. Oh yeah, for new players, I forgot to mention Fury. If you don't get Berserker Fury early on, you can just use Fury, Organ Shatter, True Steel, and Pressure Point. Um, I think this is gonna be a new player build for the most time, with like the 11, like that silver colored elemental mods. Like that's the if you get Blood Rush early on, that's also nice. It can get up to you in a good crit chance. So I was mentioning Tennokai. The Tennokai is kind of weird because this weapon's heavy attack looks like you're climbing on an enemy and then it hits the ground like a melee slam. So I don't know if you should use it or not. It's up to you because the heavy attack looks weird. When I go to the simulacrum, you're gonna see, or in a live match I do later on. And another thing I noticed in simulacrum, when I kill enemies with the melee, it doesn't give the efficiency sometimes. It only gave me it the first time. Oh, I think I just yeah. Did you see the heavy attack? Because like it looks so weird. Like does it proc here? Yeah, you like climb. You do like a climb. Like you do like a mobile agile move, and then you just slam the ground. Now also, I cannot show the full performance here because for some reason I spawn like heavy gunners here. Heavy gunners are usually more like more tankier, and I didn't start with the weapon as well, so I'm just dealing less damage because of that. But like I said, you do with the gas stuff. You can do Tennokai if you want, but it's optional. And then you just go with the weapon, buff your melee, and then just melee buffs the rifle. So let's just go to the live match, and live match footage and the live match interactions a little bit better. All right. So as you can see, I'm killing a bunch of enemies here. That heavy gun is like I'm not tanking me. I'm just getting the gas, getting that influence on. And now my weapon has probably 14 shots in the like with the +8 is like what 24 shots now. No, 8 times. Yeah, 8 plus. Yeah. I just have like almost 24 shots. And the melee is over good. Like when you get that combo going, when that blood rush rises, it just can get up to orange and red crits maybe. And the Tennokai is just gonna demolish enemies, even though it's a slam. It's a really weird slam. And now I use the efficiency, getting those headshots, um, and buffing my melee weapon. So I kind of want to summarize what I feel about vinquibius as well. So it's the first of its kind. It's the first bayonet. I like the passive and the gimmicks. I like the interaction between weapons. And do I think this weapon will become a meta? Now that's how you look at meta, because there's a bunch of different game modes with their own metas. Will I use this in general steel pad? Of course. This thing will demolish in the general steel pad. Like it's amazing. Early game, mid game, steel pad. It's good. Would I? Let's talk about level cap. Will I use this in Void Cascade? Yes. Will I use this in level cap? I don't know. I don't go level cap that much personally. So if you're Void Cascade people, for level cap, I think this weapon is solid because of the melee buffs and the efficiency. And considering this is a sniper weapon, for the level cap, you can probably go the primary acuity build. So you can just one tap tracks out of their spawn. But the AoE is mostly going to be on the melee, and the single target gonna be on the primary. Which is, to be honest, looking at it that way, it's kind of helpful for Void Cascade. You kill a bunch of enemies with the melee, and then you just do the tracks killing with the rifle. So overall, this weapon is pretty cool. I say it's gonna be one of my go-to sniper plus polearm, like bayonet, sniper plus bayonet spear weapons. I'm quite enjoying the vinquibius. And that's gonna be all for it. If you guys enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, comment how you feel about vinquibius and uriel as well. And tomorrow I'm gonna talk about the two new prime weapons we got, which is Sagic and Galeriac Prime. I'll see you guys later in the next video. Goodbye.